Hey, welcome back to the Eyes Open Network. I want to do a follow-up story on the U.S. battleship potential in the South China Sea. Well, it turns out that the U.S. has gone and done it. They've actually sailed this ship. It has gone within that 12-mile uh, uh, zone. China has responded by saying, hey, you guys might want to just back off. Don't do anything hasty. Don't do anything stupid. We've warned you that we will take action if we feel that our country is the safety of our country is at risk. So it's like we're playing a huge game of chicken here. One with pretty much global nuclear crazy possible potential ramifications. So what does the U.S. Really expect? Are they prepared to live with the outcome of their let's play chicken? I'm going to try and call your bluff. We're going to sail our battleships wherever the heck we want, and we don't believe you'll blow us up. What if they do? It's an act of war, wouldn't it be? Interesting. So we know that South China has staked claims to these islands that they created out of nothing. And if you're not familiar with these islands, I'm not making this stuff up. You can go look it up. It's easily to find. A year ago, they started dredging up the ocean floor and have now created 2 to 3,000 acres of land out of nothing in the South China Sea. And they say they own these islands, and it's now China. It's part of the country of China. So now that's why there's a 12-mile nautical boundary around these islands, because that's the acceptable boundary that's universally known as you can't come within 12 nautical miles of a country's landmass. The U.S. says no. This is international water, and under the Freedom of Navigation Acts, we will move our ships however we like to move them in international waters, of course. But you went and built you built some land in international waters and then tried to stake claim to the space. It doesn't quite work like that. At least in my mind, it doesn't. I would think that that's wrong. But at the same time, there's a different way to do this, right? You can sit down with the country of China and the country of the U.S. and the country of Vietnam, the Philippines and Malaysia and all these other countries that are in the proximity of the Spratly Islands and say, hey, okay, we got to figure this stuff out. You guys, it was pretty cool that you built this island here, but what are we doing with it? You can't just come. It'd be like I went and built an island 13 miles off the coast of 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 China, because I'm outside that lane, and now it's Canadian land. What? Again, you can't just do that. Doesn't make sense. But anyway, let's just back up a minute. This game of chicken that is dangerously being played just the only real outcome that can come from this is a false flag, right? A claim that the Chinese military fired a missile across the bow, try to warn them to back off. A claim that some sort of threat to the U.S. ships has been taken in order for the U.S. to strike back. And then everybody who's listening sits back and thinks, okay, well, why the heck would the U.S. want to start a war? I don't know. Why don't we ask the people who were running the show in 1964 in the Gulf of Tonkin? Because in the Gulf of Tonkin, the exact same thing happened. Well, it's similar. I wouldn't say exact same. Similar things have happened. Oh, what was that? Well, in 1964, on 2 separate dates, the U.S. claimed to be fired upon from the Vietnamese Navy. Well, one of those 2 dates, it has been proven that there were no naval ships from the Vietnamese military in the area, so it's not even possible. And number 2, the declassified study, which is now available, does conclude that there was an engagement of Vietnamese naval forces and the U.S. ship in the Gulf of Tonkin. However, it was the U.S. naval ship that fired first, not the other way around. So these things, this isn't a new occurrence where, one country will go into a certain area and they'll make it look like the other country is doing something bad so that they can respond because what they really want to do is go to war. Now, why the heck would the US want to go to war with China? Well, both their economies are crap. They're falling apart at the seams. And how do you restart an economy? Level the playing field. 2, 3, 4 years of war, boom, everything can start all over fresh. Consider this for a moment, just for a moment. President Obama went on a vacation to Alaska not too long ago. At the exact same time that he was in Alaska on vacation, Chinese military ships were in Alaskan waters. What the heck were they doing there? Just cruising around? Was Obama there just to keep an eye on them? Were they there to have a meeting? Were they there to discuss global war? Were they there to discuss the leveling of their playing fields through war? Sign a couple of little documents saying, okay, here's what the thing. We're not going to blow up everything. We won't use any nukes. We'll leave New York alone. We'll leave this city alone. We'll leave that alone. Here's what we need to do. Let's lay down the groundwork for how we're going to run this war, so we can reset everything. Now, hey, I don't know if I'm right. I have no concept of, or not concept. I have no uh, factual information about whether or not they had a meeting in Alaska. I don't know any of that, but I just considered it for a moment. At the Eyes Open Network, we firmly believe that you should listen to everyone, believe no one, do your own research, and form your own opinion. Well, I've just given you something to think about, something that you can go and research, something that you can look into. Then you can form your own opinion. You can think I'm crazy. That's okay. The bottom line here is that the U.S. actually followed through on their threat to send a U.S. destroyer within 12 nautical miles of the Spratly Islands that China has claimed as their own. Uh, China has warned the U.S. to back off. The U.S. has said, oh, no, no, this is just the first uh, act that we're going to push through here and push through these waters. So be prepared for more. And China's saying, don't do anything stupid. And then the U.S. says, oh, we're not doing anything stupid. We're just traveling in international waters. And China's saying, no, these are our islands. There's a 12-mile buffer. You cannot breach that 12-mile buffer. And the U.S. says, well, we're not breaching the buffer because there's no islands here that are not in international waters. So it goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's a pretty dangerous game of chicken when you think about the ramifications. So is the U.S. prepared to live with the potential ramifications? I don't know. But to me, this seems like a sibling fight, if anything, where they just keep poking at each other until someone actually hits someone else with something heavy, and then the fight is on, and then it's the parents' in the parents' job to try and figure out who's done what wrong first, and da 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 da. Have you ever had that conversation with your children? This one blames that one blames that one, and you as the parent sit there going, uh, who the heck do you believe? Well, us as the people of the world are the parents in this scenario, where we sit back and go, okay, so China and the U.S. are just beating the crap out of each other verbally and potentially on a path to physically, and we're supposed to sit back and figure out who the heck started it or who's to blame. It's crazy. It's just a crazy concept that the U.S. would continue to poke the bear, so to speak. I challenge you to do your homework, pay attention. I'd stay on top of this one. The links below if you want to learn more about uh, uh, this, and I'll put some links in the description about the how the 2,000 acres of land was created by China. I'll also give you the link to this CNN article, and you can do your own research, form your own opinion. This has been the Eyes Open Network. Take care, guys. Bye now.